welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As said, they're joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's Raw. What a show this was!
Loved it. Often, and by which I mean for about 20 years, WWE had a chance between January and like April to not be terrible. And it sort of felt like they were cheating a bit. They'd done one thing really well, which was to establish WrestleMania as the undisputed biggest stage in all of wrestling. And when you build into that, like even when you're completely dysfunctional, it's hard to F it all up.
Yeah.
And then, you know, WWE got all right, and then it got pretty great. And then we've had a decline this year. So we're kind of in a point now where it's not quite a WrestleMania build, but like when something's really good, it kind of feels like they're cheating, you know? And like that's what this is, because they had this incredible Boston thing. We previewed it and got pretty much all of it bang right, but in the best way. And then they're in the Garden next week again. And then War Games, as I was saying this morning, happens every year. I could not be hyped more for two matches that I tend to despise. They're cheating. Like this is like a period where they like this show. Like what was really cool about it? Well, you know, the roster split don't matter. They're just cheating. Because they were hot houses, full hot houses. This was happening every week for a while. That was the real boom. Now you've just got to gimmick it a bit, and for about 3 weeks they're going to gimmick it. Cool, I say, because this was terrific.
The elements of it that I thought were good, but if you're going to be like detached, objective, boring corner, well, it's not a corner, we'll call it more of a zone because we've already established that there's 4 corners.
Yeah.
Very eventful, very loud, felt special, felt like if you were dialed into the Fed, you would have had a fantastic time with it. So I expect you two to be completely insufferable for the next hour and a half or longer. Indeed. No, there's still I still didn't think the good bits were that good. And I thought there was a lot of boring slop on this show, but better than it's been in a while. And I agree with Hamflett completely. Like this, they've got a luxury player right now in John Cena. And I would say that mostly they got the very best of him last night.
Yeah, let's dive straight into it, obviously, with them being in, where were they again?
The TD Garden. Yeah, wicked busy. Harder.
Did you go with Pickard Wisser?
Pickard Wisser.
Is that this season's or next season?
So it's
excellent.
So this is like Fantasy Premier League. You might have fantasy football in the other country, America. But we have what's called FPL, Fantasy Premier League, where you pick, rotate on a weekly basis, the 11 players. You're stuck with a core. You can make some free transfers. But the players you think are going to perform across that game week in the Premier League, and but everyone gives up after 6 weeks, and then you're point chasing because you need to pick the same players as everybody else to get the most points. But because the people ahead of you are picking the same players, it's not the best game. It's flawed, but you get excited about it every single season, and everyone uses it as an excuse to show off their wordplay. There is a Newcastle player called Johan Wisser who has actually suffered his first serious injury on international duty and thus has been unable to play for us so far, despite the fact that his quite incredible availability statistics were one of the driving forces behind overpaying for a 29-year-old footballer. Okay?
Okay.
But because he's called Johan Wisser, I decided my FPL team name, which is what people use to show off their wordplay again, would be a spoonerism that's much better when I say it out loud than it is written down, because it looks like I've just picked Wisser for my team, and that's like really poor written down. But if you understand our podcast law and spoonerisms and the hilarity, of a Boston accent, it becomes Pickard Wisser. But I've got a new one for next year.
Oh, already?
Yeah. Do you want to know what it is?
I think it's going to be for Voltamada, perhaps.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
Like just heaping dirt on this Isak thing?
Ooh.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I'll give you a clue.
What is it you say? Isaac Stinker or something?
Hooked and Stinker. That's a football Twitter thing. I didn't make that up. I'll give you a clue. It's a classic Simpsons reference, pun on a Premier League player. And I'm so proud of it that I don't want to change my team name now. Even if I can, I don't think you can. But I wouldn't change it because I'm saving it for next year. It's quite long, so I was like, does this meet the character limit?
Oh, yeah.
And if I don't use spaces, it does.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know. Yeah.
So the player in question doesn't play for Newcastle. It's Ballon d'Or winner Rodri.
Uh-huh.
Inanimate carbon Rodri.
Oh, that's nice.
Very good.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that a lot.
Have you got any from the past? I got some problematic ones that I couldn't.
Yeah,
possibly-
it's been a long time since I played FPL, and times change.
Yeah.
Into me gran.
Yeah.
So you
that's
see shots of Boston.
Yeah.
And of course, with it being seen as night, West Newbury, Mass as well. Fans are
So
very...
TD Garden, that's the old name. What's the new name for the...
You could have
Tiddy Garden.
Tiddy Garden, PP Garden.
Big old Tiddy Garden.
Big D Garden. Take your pick.
They all work.
Yeah. Fans are very excited to see John Cena, but they've got a treat before that because Triple H is already in the ring.
First packed house in months on Raw. I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
15,000, you say? Sounds good.
Who's getting the first pop? Probably me, I reckon,
he
if
is
anything.
such an arse. He's the worst guy in the history of guys.
4,000 at that Salt Lake SmackDown. Where were you?
Yeah.
Busy backstage.
Looking after the road, Diana.
Guy's an asshole. The guy is the worst guy in the history of guys. Hate him. Put me in a mood here.
And the rationale, let's get on this now before people are immediately racing to defend Triple H, as I typically would, is that, you need him out there to make the match, to make it feel less than impromptu. Yep, that's what Adam Pearce is
That's
for
what Adam
every
Pearce
single
does,
week.
yeah.
You could have given him that.
Busy.
too many
He's sorting out the tournament, mate. He's got the tumbler to look after.
Yeah. But everyone's busy. He didn't want to do it, Triple H, but everybody was like, come on, guys, is anybody free? I guess I'll do it myself.
Might bloody have to now.
Yeah.
If they had like footage of like a pre-show, it'd show the entire backroom staff pushing him out there. You know, people are like, no, and they're like, everyone's behind him pushing him.
Was that the
arms on the
WrestleMania 40 crack? He didn't want to come out, but Cody insisted.
Yeah.
We live in a magical time, Paul says. We can all
No,
be
you
here.
twisted my arm. I was just shaking your hand. You twisted my arm.
Said twist it.
We can all be here for a night like this.
Call that a twist, pussy.
You didn't twist nothing, and by the way, one of your nuts is hanging out.
Worst guy in the history of guys. He can't help himself but be a complete arsehole. We'll get into that imminently.
Good twist. Good twist.
He said everyone had an opinion. Not many people agree on anything.
Can I go first on this? When he's done.
Everyone had an opinion on who the greatest of all time was. You can measure it by in-ring performance, charisma, ability to tear down your opponent on the mic. It's all subjective, but...
He has to say that.
I'm not really... Well, go on.
Well, thankfully, Triple H is in the position to see it from all sides. And he knew that tonight we'd all agree on one thing. From an objective measure, there was one person top of that list. He's a box office attraction, someone who gave it all in the ring, who's ruthless on the microphone, and did it all with a smile on his face because he loved it.
He didn't like selling defeats, but carry on.
Wanted to see it elevate to the highest level possible. That person is the single greatest asset that this business has ever seen. It was his honor to bring him out, the hometown hero, the greatest of all time, John Cena.
Okay, let's bury this before we get on to the fun bit, which was actually incredibly effective, and we'll go down as like a moment or whatever. Triple H is the worst. So I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right? Where I feel like him very, very, very gently breaking kayfabe. Very, very gently. And also, who could possibly care? But I care in this instance because quite frankly, I have an agenda, right? He's going, everyone opinions like assholes, like all you guys. Everyone's got them. Everyone's mouthing off about who the best of all time is. Yada, 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 yada. Well, as it pertains to me, I'm more qualified than you marks because I'm a talent, promoter, booker, producer, and my cock is considerably bigger than everybody else's in this building.
I think about all the pies, Jenny.
Got to think about all the cocks, Jenny. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we get it. You qualified. We get it. You won. Congratulations and thank you, Triple H, for creating a wrestling dystopia. So, I feel like, I invest. I am a booker, talent, executive, promoter. So I'm the most qualified, more qualified than you assholes to say this. Everyone's got an opinion. Like, God damn it, you are the worst guy in the history of guys. You are. So anyway, there's all this spiel. It's all subjective. But I'm actually qualified, so I will take it from here, nurse. You know what he could have done, right? He could have been objective and talked about how in the parameters of the fictional story that you're telling, except he has to tell you that it's fictional and he's telling it because he's such a super genius. John Cena, objectively, is, through the fictional metrics, the greatest of all time, because according to your records, flawed as they are, Ric Flair's got like 23 or whatever.
Jerry Lawler's a 48-time world champion.
Yeah.
Some of us are watchmen.
Yeah. Actually, Jeff Jarrett's got like 27 of them. Jesus.
Too many, and I love the guy.
Yeah. Through your own historical records, flawed as they are, they're yours, and you've won, so you can say that they're real. Objectively, John Cena is the best because he's won the most world titles, But he had to do this whole...
Wasn't called the often seen 17, was it?
Yeah.
One that landed.
He could have said objectively, but no, he has to tell the fans that they're not as qualified as the great Triple H and, all the rest of it. So that annoyed me greatly. The fact that, as Hamflett points out, he's not coming out for the 4,000, is he? 15,000, look what I created. Look what I created. Triple H just kind of actively pisses me off.
He's had a brilliant year for it. Like, I've been doing the ups and downs on WWE 2025. And as a result, I've just been like watching select clips from some of the hot spots in the shows that I think have like highlighted the decline the most, and trying to set a bit of my own agenda. And I remembered it after we'd reviewed WrestlePalooza, universally panned and criticised for lots of valid reasons. But just that, I liked it, right? The Netflix, I understand why a lot of people didn't. Purists hated it, and I get that, but I'm a sucker for a video package. But like the one that he put on the big curtain, right, and he voiced it, it's still all this massive, like, self-satisfied, like, wanky, yes, you may thank the King of Kings for all of this. But how they launched it with this, like, it starts with an idea. And it's like hands at a typewriter, which they're my f***ing hands. by the way. And the whole point is, like, we're on Netflix, the great entertainment streaming service. Come on, you losers. You still think this ain't basketball, this ain't even the Super Bowl. This is bigger than all of that. And then they get the ESPN deal. Wrestling and sports have been one and the same since the year dot when the game invented it all. It's like, where's your typewriter? Like, which is it, Paul?
Where's the typewriter, Paul?
That was like way back in January.
I would like to stress that I'm not an idiot. I do not care about breaking kayfabe. It can be a useful storytelling tool. I liked how Kenny Omega did it with Will Ospreay. It's situational. But Paul Levesque does it constantly to put himself over as this great storytelling genius. And, like, you suck. Look what you did to Cena this year. It's kind of a miracle he still gets these reactions.
I showed Sidge that Rock.
It was brilliant.
So good, isn't it?
I will defend.
Unreal,
I will defend Levesque there. He had a great rationale for the Rock to not be present. B, for the Rock not to do it because people think, all right, there's a new world order. Then the Rock's getting physical. It's going to be at WrestleMania. No, and he basically, I loved how Triple H tried to placate Rock's ego at the same time as sort of like finessing him out of the physicality and putting all the spotlight on John Cena because he's the only person who's going to be getting physical anytime soon. You're not going to be getting physical, you stupid slut. You're not even going to be there. And like, so as I say, you're basically Rock, you are the ultimate bad guy in the movie, the guy who doesn't even have to get involved right at the end.
Pulling the strings,
Pulling the strings. You don't get involved until the shit goes down at the end of the movie, And like Dwayne's like, yeah, I'm the ultimate bad guy. Here's the thing though, Paul. I'm going to whip him. I'm going to get that belt and get physical. What do you think about that? Yeah.
He's the best.
Cena's going to hold him, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the rapper, he's going to bail.
It's going to be my little helper, buddy.
I need to have a conversation about the GOAT. He's right there.
It's funny.
Anyway,
It's funny.
speaking of the GOAT, Cena comes out. Huge pop, of course. Says, what an introduction. Amazing night we have here. He's always been asked, who do you like to face in his last match? There's a thank you, Cena. He thanks them. But he says, the one thing I wanted to talk about was, what is my goal in this exercise? And that's to leave the business better than he found it and give someone the opportunity that he got. Last time his now tournament obviously starts tonight to determine who will retire John Cena. He says, well, I'm going to go down fighting, by the way. But at Saturday night's main event, it's a night to close one chapter, but also a night of opportunity because we are getting main roster WWE superstars in exhibition matches against NXT stars.
Oh my God.
Yes!
Keep them brief, and that's a pretty cute gimmick.
Yeah.
Make it this whole second hour about John Cena, and you've kind of done something right there. Yeah.
But he also mentioned that I didn't make the schedule, but I said, please, can I go to Boston one last time? He's very happy. He said WWF, that got muted. But he talked about being back in the TD Garden to feel the atmosphere, surrounded by family and friends. And then,
Oh my God.
who could have called this? Oh, we did. Dominic Mysterio interrupted. I like the fact that even Tess was like, really? And Wade was like, future GOAT, here he comes. He gets booed. There's effing and jeffing all over the place from the crowd, obviously. But he comes out there and he's like, I don't care about what's going on all here. I want to know, Triple H, what you're going to do about last week when I was interrupted by a deadbeat. I'm the one who interrupts old men. And John Cena steps in at this point. He stepped back initially, but he steps in at this point and says, whoa, sweet child of mine. No, he says, let's calm down. We got a rowdy crowd here tonight. We got off on the wrong foot. Let's start again. Dominic Mysterio, welcome to Boston, Massachusetts. And Dom's like, it's not about you or Boston. Why don't you sit in that corner, let the grown folk handle business, and speak when you're spoken to, or I'll put you down. John Cena reaches into his bag.
I love that.
He reaches down and pulls out. Fine speech. Oh, no.
Got to pop that.
You hear him with the fine speech.
Registered.
He said, look, amidst your anger and your ego, you forgot where you were and you forgot who you're talking to. I'm John Cena. This is Boston, Massachusetts. Any other night, any other city, I'd give you a chance. Tonight, you don't have a chance. Tonight, I am invincible, he said. He said, look, champ, choose your words very carefully. Because if you try and pick a fight with me tonight, you will lose. Wrong time, wrong place, wrong guy. But I'm going to do you a favor out of the respect I have for your father. Right now, I'm going to let you turn around and walk your ass back through that curtain. Dom doesn't take a step back and just goes, oh, really, John? You're going to need more than magic to touch me. I'm not even at my peak yet, and I'm better than you ever were at your prime. Any time, any place, any era, I would have whooped John Cena's ass. Triple H steps in and says, John, I'll take this, because they're all swearing at him and telling him where to go, basically, the crowd. Says, I agree with the people here in Boston, Massachusetts. What do you say? Any time, any place, any era? Well, seems like a pretty damn good era.
And I mean,
And I'm responsible
folks,
for it.
where's the lie?
Pretty damn good place. Seems like one hell of a time. So tonight you will defend that Intercontinental Championship right here, right now, against the one and only John Cena. Now get me a referee. The crowd cannot believe this.
I mean, the idea was absolutely perfect for all the reasons we outlined yesterday on the preview. But the execution was no guarantee. And I would say this was a home run in terms of how they laid this out and performed it, and ultimately what you got as the match was kicking off, the atmosphere that they were required to conduct and curate ahead of the bell ringing. Perfection. I thought this was absolute perfection. Dominic Mysterio, Sidge made that point months ago with I forget who it was you were referring to, but there's plenty of them, wrestlers who do that mirror performance out in the ring. Like Dominic Mysterio was one of the worst ever for that when he first got started. Almost understandably so. He was a bit of a Nepo hire, and he was rushed to television. And
Didn't even do a traditional indie loop or nothing.
Nah. So elements were going to be interesting to look at, but a lot of it was going to feel extremely rehearsed and stage managed. to his enormous detriment, especially as a babyface. He's come all the way through to the point where the stuff that he was charged with delivering here, like you almost would have forgiven him for some of it feeling a little bit staged and rehearsed because it was so overblown and so over the top and so egotistical and bold and unafraid of the heat that he was destined to get. He was sensational.
He was magnificent.
He was
Got to be a world champion now.
Yeah,
Like off the back of this, even more so.
Putting his face and chin up to John Cena and daring him with every single word just to hit him. Like
That tattoo, by the way, is inspired.
Yeah.
He looks even more like a
you just have
douchebag.
to look at it when he's like doing that particular face of his. Cena was phenomenal. The legacy, just like it did last week, the legacy of Rey Mysterio hung heavy in the titty of all of this, which was great build for the Rey Dom match, which again is what's fueled this ultimately. Like Rey Dom being such, I'll use the word again, another home run idea for this Survivor Series card in San Diego. Like whoever stumbled upon, like we were talking about, Cena and Dom, and Cena could do the 619 in San Diego, and then they did that promo last week, and you're like, that's better. Rey and Dom one more time is better. And that required like the quality that Dom unleashed last week on Rey as well. So he's had 2 fantastic weeks in a row with 2, again, like sort of high pressure situations that he's just absolutely nailed. Absolutely superb crowd control by the pair of them. Cena unusually very measured in his own delivery because he can sometimes be nightmarish. You forget that he's left wrestling for acting because he's awful at it. But he was great here. And I was thinking, like, it's Boston, right? So maybe that would have subverted how the rest of it was gone. I was thinking if they'd never done the SummerSlam weekend thing and just gone like, and just babyfaced him overnight, and he comes out and the big screen comes up, and he's just a babyface. Please forget about that. I'm really sorry. Like, can you imagine if they'd stuck with it? And you were like, all of the towns, I'll say Paris and I'll say Perth for the AJ match, but especially this one. Can you imagine if they'd stuck with it and how weird and disjointed
The
all
plan
of this?
all along, I think Cena wanted to tell the story of his redemption.
So he would have got
He was
there
doing
in time for
he would have
this.
done it in time for this, surely, because he was doing all that stuff with Orton, remember, at the end
Yeah,
of the
that's
post-match, and he was
thinking,
like,
should I really do it?
should I really be doing it?
Like,
Crap, you.
yeah, like, it did make me think, though, wrestling should, in this era that we're in, this Cena thing, because this second half, I think, has been so fantastic, the old idiot fed brain me is almost prepared to, like, wave away the terrible first part for how great the second bit's been. It's made me, like, it's given me a moment of pause to think, like, I wonder how many other terrible angles and stories in this modern era, this post-kayfabe era, wrestling could just be like,
Sorry about that.
sorry about that. Just drop it. You know, we always kind of like, we need an out. How are we going to get out of it? This is dreadful. How are we going to get out of it? So no, you just, sorry. And then like, do the thing we all love. And then
Just pull the sorry.
yeah, like there possibly should be a bit more because we're analysts. We're always looking for like ways to make the story make sense. This didn't one bit. And how hot's this run?
Yeah.
been?
Yeah,
Just,
I think
like,
people admired, for once, a pro wrestling promoter going, sorry about that. Because, like, they completely messed it up. Like, the amount of times, like, you use the word nightmarish, like, the devil in AEW was nightmarish, reaching a point where MJF had to turn heel to have a match against Adam the Devil Cole as a babyface because people just hated the MJF babyface character so much. And it was just like, why didn't you just go, yeah, it's done, sorry about that. We're finished with that. That's what you wanted. I'm very sorry.
You're right. There's definitely like bookers will so rarely admit defeat on.
Khan
anything.
hates it. He hates to do it. You'll use it as a tool and go, oh well, I'll listen, but he gets hectored into that response at times.
And yeah, like
It's Dom's face as well. When you could all see where it was going the moment he walked out.
He felt like this is the most he's ever felt like, oh, that's the WrestleMania headliner, someone who could be tasked with actually carrying a main event level program and not just the highlight of the mid card. He's always felt on the cusp. He's felt on the cusp since, well, for a long, long time. But WrestleMania 41, the highlight of the weekend, arguably was that reaction. So ever since he's felt on the cusp, this is the first time where I'm like, no, it'll be a promotional failure if you don't do it.
Yeah.
I've made this comparison with another wrestler quite a few times of late, but this might have been the week where it was most apt. This was a bit like The Rock stepping out with the nation for the first time to go face-to-face with Stone Cold Steve Austin. and then immediately you're like, well, don't need the nation anymore.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
going
yeah.
to make it. Even Steve Austin was like, oh, sure, he's going to make it. This was that for him, which is, what you're supposed to use another big star for as well. So
Like a hell of a hook as well. They're like, the match, we'll get the referee out and we'll get this all set up. When you come back, the match will be on. And they do like the in-ring introductions during the break, during which Dom just jumps John Cena. But Cena obviously fights back. There's a bulldog from Cena. He sends Dom into the ropes and Dom just bails, walks out, wants to leave. Obviously, Cena chases him down, brings him back to the ring, but Dom sends Cena into the steel steps, posed on them, posed on the outside, did his little... and then, I don't know why I loved it so much. The steps obviously had been knocked over, and he stood on the side of the steps, just like, dickhead, and then bounced his head off it. I was like, kick his ass, Dom! Obviously, they tease a count. It's never going to happen. But Cena gets back in at 9. Dom wants the 3 amigos, gets all 3 of them, gets a 2 count. Cena comes back, goes for an AA. Dom slips out. There's a DDT that takes us to a break. When we come back, Cena's playing the hits. The comeback, 5-knuckle shuffle. It's one of the loudest You Can't See Me's I've heard all year. Again, Dom gets out of the AA, sends Cena into the ring post. He goes to the other side of the ring, exposes the turnbuckle. Referee's busy with that. Dom grabs a steel chair, realizes, does the Eddie spot, smashes the chair against the ring, chucks it to Cena, who immediately just chucks it down. They both lay down. Referee turns around. What the hell's going on? While they get another meme gif of Cena winking at Dom. He gets Dom up for the AA whilst the referee's busy with the chair, but they bump the referee. Cena STFs Dom. He taps. Cena, despite all of his years of experience, yeah, I've won. Oh, wait a second, there's no referee. Dom gets the belt, goes for a belt shot. Cena ducks it, hits an AA, calls to the back. Here comes the referee. 1, 2. Dom kicks out. The fans are all just losing their minds at this point. And then you think, oh, there it is. Well, we've had the visual win. Dom trips Cena, 619, frog splash, but he said he was invincible, and he just immediately picks up Dominic Mysterio. AA, 1, 2, 3. Explosion of celebration in Boston. And as he celebrates with the IC title, he grabs and he's completed the Grand Slam. He grabs the mic, thanks Boston, and says, the champ is here. Holds up the belt. The pyro goes off. What a moment.
Not, the John Cena especially, but either of these two really need some idiot on the internet saying this, but the false finish that felt very much like the real finish was so integral to the success of the actual finish. Like, you didn't have to do that, but the fact that they put this in when they've already got the fans at a total fever pitch was inspired, because you're right, there was a proper feeling in the building of like, we're having such a good time, it doesn't matter that he's not going to win the Intercontinental title, and that was a perfect emotion to play with when you're actually going to put it on him. So I loved that. It's like, not an add-on to the match, but like a feature of it. Wrestling... You used to say, the phrase used to be OCD, but that got trivialized and thrown around, so I'll try and avoid that. Wrestling, I think, fosters a real completist attitude in its fans, whether it be about completing a storyline, or whether it be when you're a collector of wrestling things, completing a collection, or indeed when you're watching the show, fantasy booking certain things to have an ending because the show never ends, and you try and create these endings or these ways in which, we've all read fantasy booking where it's like, come on, that's what you got to do to make it make sense. And not once have you thought that makes sense, but to that person's mind, it's like, well, it has to be that. It has to end there. I think there was a point through a lot of this year where people had just made their peace with John Cena not winning this Intercontinental title. Had kind of thought, he's
got the 17.
He's done enough, and he's done loads, and that's okay. And then as we kind of hit the home straight for this, I felt it, and the building felt it. I was like, no, I need this. I need John Cena. I think I need John Cena with the Intercontinental title. That Wikipedia page is now complete. Like, the Miz can read John's out after he's read his own. It is really...
Well, he's winning the tournament, obviously.
Well, it is really genuinely done.
Yeah.
Right? And with John Cena winning the Intercontinental title, the match was tremendous, but that did feel like the easy bit, really. That it was how they got there with the promo beforehand, and now they've actually made him Intercontinental champion. That's the stuff that impresses me more, truthfully. Like Cena holding that belt aloft, a bit like when he won the Intercontinental, the US title in 2015. There is an element of elevation to it, even though Dominic's had a great run. Cena, to his credit, because everybody else has laid claim to like Eddie Guerrero being their number one wrestling god, favorite guy, in order to basically take a shortcut in a match. Cena years and years and years ago credited Eddie Guerrero with, a bit like CM Punk did when he locked up with him and said, "Oh, I don't know a goddamn thing about wrestling." Cena said that about them in 2003, and Eddie was a big proponent of, like, in that evil SmackDown locker room, kind of helping Cena over the hump and stuff. So it was evil.
It was evil.
So like he
that shot though. You ever seen the photo of the locker room? That shot of the. You ever seen that on the internet? Or?
Wrong era, mate.
Yeah, but still counts. Still a locker room, isn't it?
I guess if you want. He says Eddie was one of the ones that did actually give him a helping hand and was integral in that. So it was nice he got that little moment with Dominic of all people. And now, like, yes, the tournament is full of complete losers, but if they're
not all losers.
Well, and if they're going Cena Gunther, which has long been forecast as the actual match, you get a potential. Like, this is me now actually thinking ahead to WrestleMania. You put the belt back on Gunther, and then you do Gunther, Sheamus, and all.
Yeah,
you get back to that thing everybody else fantasy booked years ago.
And that's
like,
completed as well.
And then it's completed. But it is. It's like you want to kind of complete these little things. Yeah. It's like, oh, Gunther, Sheamus always felt like a pretty cool title versus career deal that maybe they've missed the window. But all of a sudden, if you IC belt in Gunther as a grand payoff to the Cena thing, you can actually get back to that. Ain't bad broken, potentially. That's just a bit of fan casting, I guess. But that's where my mind went after all this. Loved it. Loved the whole thing.
I didn't love it because I've got no emotional connection to John Cena whatsoever, but I could watch it and go,
yeah.
Good bit, like a tremendous, I shouldn't downplay it. It was a tremendous bit of business. That it were so simple. I wish all wrestling looked like this to a degree. Like, just, this was a house show match.
Yeah.
I reckon, part of us was thinking, there wasn't much to this. They just, like, rushed it. They could have maybe... It was a nice moment for John Cena. Even as I talk through this and try and debate myself about whether it could have been more, why?
Yeah.
When this was all they needed to do. And I wish that professional wrestling could be as easy as this, because you're more on the idea, or at least I do, of, like... You know, these extra 10 minutes on every match, if you wrote out every single match, sequence for sequence, move for move, you'd think, you might as well stop watching. Like, how much does what happens in the first 8 minutes have realistically any bearing on what happens over the next 10 at all, ever? Because it just becomes this, well, you're on even footing, just exchanging moves. Why did I watch 10 minutes of this just to get to this almost every single time? This was just a little, like, out-muscled dickhead trying to scrape a win against this guy who is invincible, who's better than him right now, and who's got an entire building behind him, and he's a living legend. And, like, Dominic Mysterio playing this utterly classical, refreshing heel role. This will be yet another moment of this kid's career. He's like 25 or whatever.
Cena called him a kid later.
Yeah, I mean, they all do. It's just
he's always
weird.
cast as 12.
Yeah. This will be
PSP.
Yet another, like, Dominic Mysterio is quietly building a case as the most memorable WWE character of this era.
Yeah.
In terms of the chapter points. Of, like,
makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
The story is one of the few that continues to make sense along the way. Yeah.
And if you go back to the Attitude Era, you can virtually remember everything that Steve Austin did. Corporate champion, like, highway to hell. I'll take it from here, nurse. You know, like, you can like, Dom's not saying Steve Austin pancakes waffles, but what I'm saying is he has got the most memorable chapter points, and you can just in sequence say, "Oh, he's doing this."
And his shoe
I
fell
love
off.
the bit. Love the bit when it was like
his shoe fell on my ass first.
When he had that NXT North American title, man, and he went to Raw in Canada. He's like, I didn't even know I was a champion of this stupid country. That was incredible, that. So this will be remembered as yet another massive highlight of this dude's unbelievable run. Would I have wanted 5 more minutes? It felt very, very much like... It was weird. Honestly, I can't explain what I'm trying to get at here, but I think what I'm trying to say in the most roundabout way possible is that this was total evidence that Dominic Mysterio was bulletproof. Because if you use the old weapons with which to like target John Cena, those old criticisms of give his opponent next to nothing, no sold his finisher, the match was incredibly rushed, he barely sold, and then he won, and he's beaten another younger talent who could potentially break through. You view this match through that 2009-2010 lens, you're thinking, oh, it's a disaster. People are way more generous to Cena now, so there is that. But the fact that in terms of beat by beat by beat, under an old way of analysing this, you could say it did Dom no favours at all. And yet, his star power is such that he's absolutely fine. I mean, look, it's one of those where, again, I'm using lofty comparisons just as helpful reference points, not like a comparison in quality. But if you look at what Austin did with Rock in late 97, early 98, weren't that competitive.
Didn't do the job.
Didn't do a job. Didn't feel like he didn't drop the belt to him. He had that 5-minute match or whatever it was.
Hoyed him out the Rumble.
In your house, hoyed him out the Rumble, beat him on Raw in 10 minutes just before WrestleMania 14 as one last heat up. Like, you shouldn't be, if booking matters, and increasingly when you're older, like, not that much. Like, stars are stars. Like, The Rock, if you write it all down, had a pretty dismal late 97, early 98 in terms of great in the mid-card. He's failed his main event audition. Look at him at the end of the year.
I think there's been like WWE have got it in the end, and you really do question, could they have just done this the whole year? And I think the answer is probably yes. They have understood that these matches are all, like with John Cena as a babyface, should exist as individual novelties. Don't try and apply what makes a good wrestling match to a John Cena match.
Yeah.
Look at the situation and assess it individually and try and figure out, and you're not going to get it right every time, but try and figure out what that crowd on that night for this John Cena character needs. So the Cody Rhodes SummerSlam match was the start of it. This absolutely bombastic, completely over the top, audacious apology for how terrible the WrestleMania match was. Sorry we did nothing about everything.
Too much.
Yeah, like here's like every bell and whistle, and like we've actually, somebody's opened a bells and whistle shop. We're taking them as well, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to like the AJ Styles matches and exactly the Sami Zayn, like the novelty was in the cute callback to the booking, and then John Cena's like he can't beat Sami Zayn for this US title, but he's wrestled so many people that he's got a bunch of moves. So he's doing Edge's spear, right? Like it's like sort of now he's the challenger in Sami Zayn's shoes of 10 years ago. I would say the only like exception to that rule would have been the Logan Paul match, which I really enjoyed. But that was the only one that was a wrestling match on its own terms. John Cena, they do the same Logan Paul story of you don't belong here. And then turns out halfway through, does he? And then John Cena out-wrestles him with maybe he had to be there. But like I would say that was the only one since he's turned babyface that falls under the lines of a traditional straight singles match. Everything else has just been this like...
This was as straight a singles match as you'll ever get.
But you said it yourself.
In terms of American-style wrestling, just like you remember it.
But there was a house show, what we once would have called counterproductive element to it because they clocked that this was the night to do it. You know, I can't imagine he does anything but war games. But if there's another singles match in the stadium, in the baseball stadium at the Survivor Series, I kind of can't wait to see what they've got next for John Cena. I love this. It's worked. I'm going to miss this. I'm not going to miss John Cena. I'm going to miss this element of the television when it's good.
Yeah. Is there 3 left?
Yeah.
War Games, MSG.
Garden, Survivor Series, and the end.
Well, after all this, we see everyone congratulating John Cena backstage. And then who should he walk up to but wiping champagne out of his eyes? There's Rey Mysterio, who says, Dom really needed that ass whooping. And Cena says, yeah, he's a good kid. Good kid.
Funny if Rey Mysterio challenged him.
This is what I thought for a split second. I was like, are you fighting for that in the main event? And then Cena goes to leave, and who should be there but...
Oh, my God.
Cody Rhodes. You don't go here.
They're cheating.
And Cody said, like, I had to be here. Boston. Congrats, IC champ. Cena calls him a class act. And he is. Lovely moment. And then the last time is now tournament kicks off.
Need Cody.
Fake.
New Cody jacket's probably just gone on Shop Zone, so that's me £96 in the hole for Christmas because the old one sold out before Joshua could get it.
Oh, is that
And
what he wants?
He saved up some of his own money to put towards it and everything that he got for his birthday, and then there was just never any in stock. You know, it's Cody's merch in it and stuff. New one now, innit? So,
yeah. Well, why don't you like say you're not as hot on this as you were at the Rumble? Why don't you spend your money on something else, something cheaper?
yeah.
Dominic Mysterio.
Why don't you manipulate your child into losing an interest in something to save you some money?
Save some coin.
Why not?
Yeah, the tournament begins with Damian Priest with his dodgy eye.
Just filtered by the bargain bin wrestlers. Come on, you love Aleister Black.
Come on, Dad. Nobody likes Aleister Black.
Damian Priest versus Rusev.
Youth of today's Damien Demento.
It's good stuff.
I suppose the story of both of these tournament matches was they hit each other really hard. Spinning heel kick from Rusev early on.
The worst genre.
Priest comes in with a spinning back elbow. He tries to walk the
Strong
ropes.
style, more like wrong style.
That's really good.
The king of wrong style.
Pretty sure he is. That's summary line when he turned heel and was a low blow guy.
Rusev hit a fall-away slam to take us to a break. When we come back, clothesline from Priest to make a comeback. An elbow in the corner. Release Falcon Arrow gets 2. A spin kick by Rusev gets 2. Priest does walk the ropes with the old school crossbody. He goes for his finish, does Priest, but Rusev goes for the injured eye and hits a matchka kick to get the 1, 2, 3 in advance.
Mostly boring. I like...
It was entirely boring.
Speaking of The Rock, I always liked...
Yes, go on.
He dropped it when he became a heel. Understandably, somebody will have told him backstage, get rid of that straight away. Bin it. But like, it was always very impressive when the old blue chipper did the
That DDT?
flying body press from the top. He's massive.
Yeah.
I loved his like little float over DDT.
Lay the smack it down. Yeah, but they're all like, no, stop that. Don't do stuff. Make them come.
Yeah, make
Right
him
there.
come, make
But
him
he's like
come, make him pop, make him come.
6'15" coming off the top rope with the flying body press. It was like, what are you doing there? Like Damian Priest
Yeah.
turning old school. I like looking at that. I did not like looking at the rest of this. Rusev going for the eyes was like, just do that in the first couple of minutes. You probably get it done. Get it done, get out of there. Save your energy. He, to be fair, in character, wants it.
Yeah.
Like this tournament, I lit that fire.
He's yelling down the camera lens.
Yeah, all
afterwards.
that kind of gubbins.
Rusev stinks, I've decided.
Thank you. Because I feel it too.
Yeah, he's honestly, it's not
I
working.
felt it since the moment he came back. I was like, no, it's over.
You don't work anymore.
Yeah.
Do Rusev Day if you want. Turn
yeah.
babyface.
Yes. Bullshit is what he needs.
This I'm hard and dour and on a warpath, except I lose when it counts on TV a lot. I think he stinks. I was watching this and I'm thinking, right, okay, well, you've had the promotional muscle trying to lift you up. You've had the debut, didn't go particularly well. You had this Triple H special, an incredibly protracted and dull feud with Sheamus, but he won it. And then he mixes it up with, wrestlers who can sort of elicit and justify that mood that he's always in. Like, it's one thing when he's just a moody prick and he's just working matches with Sheamus. It's like, what is this? The Capital Wrestling Center, you know? But
Capital Rusev Center.
The Capital Rusev Center. But when he's got Dom to bounce off, it's like, I can be pissed off because this little bastard is screwing me.
Even Penta was a good contrast.
Yeah.
And screwing around too much.
It's like, well, I'll kill you for that. I will kill you for that. There's a reason for Rusev to be such a moody, off-putting, oh, God, Rusev's here. You know?
I'll get away, I think.
And now that he's just trying to be hard against another guy who's a bit of a beat, it's like two badasses coming together to prove who the biggest badass is, and they're gonna go 10 minutes and they're gonna work stiff in this one. There is a guy, he lives downstairs. We've named him, but we won't drop it just yet in case this bit, not that we do them, catches on. But Rusev's kind of the ultimate badass, but there's a competitor to his badass throne, and it's Damian Priest.
Here comes the twist.
Here comes the twist. That's his catchphrase.
That's my catchphrase, is this guy. And here comes a twist, the match success. What was this? I tell you what, like, Damien Priest. God. I'm the low guy on old Damien Priest. Like, there's certain times when he's kicking people in that sort of like that rib cage bit, that exchanging those kicks. And yes, Damien, I can't do it, and you're bigger than me. Impressive that you can do those. You can do those high up kicks. He does a flying back elbow, and it misses by a foot every time. So he cannot betray this ultimate badass facade. And he's missing someone with that elbow. I will say, I've got no problems with the match length. Trust me, bro. I want more of these suckers to be short. But this was worked like a pretty competitive, long, drawn-out hoss fight with an anticlimactic ending. I don't know if they'll very long, but justifiably so, John Cena appearance. Put it this way, a lot of these matches were shorter than they seem most weeks. I thought Damien Priest looked like an asshole bum coming out of this one.
Yeah, I'm the high guy on both Damien Priest and Rusev, but I was, after what had happened in the opening, was a bit like, yeah, whatever. I guess the eye stuff or whatever.
Yeah, there was a almost night-long adrenaline dump, you could argue.
Following this, we see the tag champs, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee with Adam Pearce. They want more competition. Pearce, I want to know what your name is. Dragon Lee suggested Dragons with Style.
Absolutely pathetic. That sounds like the kind of thing the fantasy bookers come out with online. Like, absolutely woeful, that. I did think, on the subject of team names, I've got, and we might as well take it in, there's a game. Guess the thing, because I went home pissed off yesterday, right? In a real foul mood with myself because I couldn't think of a good enough team name for the John Cena Rey Mysterio tag team we pitched yesterday. But I thought about it on the way home and I went, yes, you win. Till the end.
It's on the metro.
Yeah.
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Guess the tag team name I came up with for John Cena and Rey Mysterio. Or I'll give you a clue. You have to vividly remember a certain attire once worn by Rey Mysterio to get it, but it was quite memorable.
Was he Silver Surfer one time?
He was the Silver Surfer. He was the Flash.
Flash. He's been. Oh, wasn't he the Joker, baby?
He was the Joker, baby.
No.
Okay. What was the one where he looked like a penis? Is that? He was. Oh, what was the gimmick? Yeah, was that the one that really pissed Vince off, or was that the Silver Surfer one?
Oh, the flesh coloured.
Yeah.
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
So he looked like a cock.
Right.
Like a big cock.
The Coctor of... No.
Cocker of Thugonomics, no.
Okay.
It's Yukon Seaman.
What was the character who's trying to...
He just looked like a cock.
I'll Google Rey Mysterio cock. Hang on 1 second. Penis cosplay.
A cosplay.
What is it?
Costume.
Yeah, the design. It's not like it was one of the Johnsons.
Oh, there's the 10 most hideous wrestling types
It'll
on
be that.
WhatCulture.com. Rey Mysterio dressed as like a giant penis. Shout out to Gareth Morgan who wrote this.
Yeah.
It says what he's trying to be. I think
it was just a misjudged generic
colour.
attire.
Yeah, it didn't look great. It still doesn't look great.
No.
What was worse than that? What's 2 and 1 if that's 3? That's what I want to know.
Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series 2002.
Yeah. Oh, brown skin, the
Hang on,
haircut.
there's a button for this.
Like a mwam.
Yeah.
Shut up, mwam.
So what's number 1 then?
Oh, right, okay. If it ain't Shawn Michaels Survivor Series 2002, it's that Zack Ryder half and half.
Which I didn't mind. Stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah, he looks like an asshole.
School trousers, Kane.
No.
That was my least favorite
that.
wrestler in my least favorite attire.
That's the chasing me out the business era.
That is your Demon Kane, Corporate Kane, and your Dark Kane.
It's Hulk Hogan wears a war bonnet to beat Bad News Brown. He's got like a helmet on.
I don't hate it. They're selling some
Selling some
Apparently, he claimed that was the justification for beating Bad News Brown. I've got the war bonnet on this. Obviously, I'm going over.
Got 3,000 boxes worth of flog.
Yeah.
Let's wear it at the ring.
What's the worst attire you've ever seen? It might be Sean's. It might be Sean's.
It's such a disappointment as well because it was the first time he was back in the tights.
Yeah.
He wore the jeans at SummerSlam. Yeah, that's up there. One will come to mind in a second. I don't know. School trousers Kane is always like really.
It's so bad.
Really
CM Punk's Long Boys are on here.
Controversial ones, isn't
I've gone back and watched the All Out 2021 match, and it's just such a perfect. Every move matters. Where they're both at as characters, like the wiliness of CM Punk getting too cocky, the crucifix. It's an incredible bit of understated business. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is like, a moment I'd never thought I'd seen. I love it, but you look like you're 50. And I know you're close to it, but you actually look like it, and that's not the point.
When he flipped the palette for the white ones against Moxley, though, and they were just pink by the end in blood.
I was used to them by then. My brain had computed them at that point.
Dead man wearing snakeskin.
Funny. Godfather's trousers. It's entrance gear.
It's Kane's school trousers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for me.
School trousers is such a funny phrase.
Worst wrestler, worst attire. Yep, it's that.
In like a top role. Like, it's like, oh no, like Daniel Bryan's in even more trouble. You thought the Shield were big deals. Here comes Kane in the Big Show.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to be... there's a weird, stupid family dynamic where Seth Rollins, who was probably 30 at the time, is like 12, and he's essentially playing the disappointment of a child sired by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and Kane's like the older brother.
Yeah. Who's like sent out often to give him a bit of a shoeing.
Yeah.
Just to be like, put him in his place, please. The guy who we've decided is going to be the next WWE
Yes!
champion. It never makes sense. They never stop to actually question why you would want to do that to your supposed top star, the selected number one pick. Kick his ass. Kick his ass. I'll tell you what one depresses me, because the whole aesthetic and the vibe and everything about it depresses me, is 1999 Randy Savage. Normally, I'm massively in favour of somebody getting dangerously jacked. I think it's awesome. But the insecurity radiating from him because he's worried that like the brazeness is passing him back.
And it haired.
And he's got these enormous arms. Normally cool, but like he's also like started seeing Gorgeous George.
He's swollen, isn't he?
Like 20 odd years
he's a swollen
junior,
man.
yeah, and he's like he can't get around like he used to, and it's just like black leather, like the opposite of what Randy Savage is, this like this incredible peacock of a man.
Flamboyant.
Yeah. And then the theme's like, what up, match? Wanna and stuff like that.
What up, match?
It's this horrible misguided attempt to be like to join the 90s. And it was like, no, you were a timeless that was the whole point.
Yeah.
You were a timeless creature from another planet. And now you're in the grim, stinking 90s.
You look like you're in the NWOB team, aesthetically and in terms of how kind of rubbish you've gotten. It was like one of the wildest, whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah.
It's like, you were Randy Savage, bro. Oh, bleak. Really bleak, actually.
So, yeah, Styles says they're going to work on Dragons with style.
Awful.
Wasn't
Can we
a
think
fan.
of a better one? AJ Lee.
Yeah, Punk was on that one early doors, wasn't he?
What about...
See, if Dragon was a bit more administrative like Kane, you could have had the Styles Council. Paul Weller's best band.
I like the Jam more.
I like Star Council. Okay.
Yeah.
Fire.
Well,
Dragons.
Dragons Men. Both men.
Flat Earth. Anything in that. Fire and flat.
Earth, flat, and fire. Like Earth, wind, and fire, but his
Brilliant.
feet are flat.
okay, we'll come back to this.
Yeah.
We'll come back to this.
Anyway,
In
there's...
fact, I'll be preoccupied with it for the next 3 minutes, but you just do you.
well, we see Maxine Dupri with Pierce. He says, you ready for Becky Lynch? She says, yes and no. Look, I could train forever, but I'm never going to truly feel ready. So make the match. And he makes it official for Madison Square Garden next week. And as he walks off, Becky comes in and just sucker punches Maxine. She's the best.
Good bit, that.
She says, you ready? Welcome to the big time. You don't stand a goddamn chance.
Well, first of all, WWE, you're welcome for all the money. Maxine Square Garden t-shirts next week.
Oh my God.
Get them on sale at the merch stand. I've stolen that a little bit from Madison Square Taven because I was just impressed with how obnoxious a flex that was. You know, if you get to work it once in your life, why would you not?
Yeah.
Like, the garden is the garden.
It's a bit like a subheading to one of my quizzes. Madison Square Wilbourn, probably.
The garden is the garden. This is the AJ Lee return. It's going to rule.
Yeah.
The match probably won't be able to live up. That's not how she skips, Sidge.
I can still hear it.
I know.
That's what she was doing, wasn't
Like
it?
they were making noises.
That's what she was doing. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
She's sort of like Stone Cold, though. It's like you don't really pay attention.
Fist and fire.
Right, speaking of which, CM Punk comes out. He's pissed off. Obviously, we're getting cheap shotted by Logan Paul last week with the Nooks. He says, I'm not waiting around. Call him out right here, right now. Not in my wrestling gear. I'm not fixing to have a wrestling match. I'm in Boston. I want to fight someone in the streets. He got sucker punched with some brass knucks by a piece of garbage named Logan Paul. I ain't going to fight you for my title. I'm going to fight you. I am going to fight you, though. You got your eyes on my belt, but I'm going to have my boot on your broccoli-headed millennial neck. Come out here so I can give you the ass whipping that you deserved, or you've earned even. Logan Paul does come out and says, hey, Punk, why are you so mad, dog? What are you mad about? That I'm smarter than you?
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
Prime's delicious. Not just you, smarter than every person in this building. Punk's like, you just buying yourself more time before I bust up that pretty little face of yours. Come on, get down here. Logan Paul says, shut up. You got it all wrong, dog. I'm Logan Paul. I've been punched in the face by the greatest boxer of all time, Floyd Mayweather. And that was nothing compared to getting flattened by Bronson Reed last week. They've dropped Seth Deadweight Rollins. And you heard what Paul Heyman said. If you're not with him, you get...
Just a loop of school trousers, Catons, and other groups that don't like Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I know.
If you're not conforming to those guys, you're getting cracked every week. See, Punk, I thought I knew it all. But after taking that tsunami, my eyes have been opened up to a whole new vision.
It's like you cutting this promo.
I was like, oh my God, that's the name of the group. And out come the vision, Paul Heyman and the two Ronnies. Paul Heyman says, tell me if you've heard this one before. You are the single most unlikable human being I've ever met in my entire life.
And I mean,
you have no friends. You're friendless. It's not because your friends betray you. It's because you betray your friendships. Take it from your former best friend in the world. You are simply one rotten bastard. You're the most unlikable person I've ever met. You could not be more unlikable unless your name was AJ Lee.
Hang on. Son of a bitch, what have you done?
Bobby Buttons.
Bobby Buttons over here. I wouldn't mess around with it.
Well, tell us what you don't want to hear the noise.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Does the noise come through regardless?
No. No.
Okay.
Hang on.
I don't know what it is.
And folks, where's the lie? They heard that.
Not the same, though, is it?
Still counts, though. Still the same words, so...
We haven't finished the segment, I've realised. Yeah, Punk says if my wife was here right now, she'd leave all four of you in a bully road, piss and blood.
No, she wouldn't. She'd do this.
She's not here, so I guess the job is up to me. Come and get some. I'll fight all of you, including two of you, Paul Heyman. Let's go. And the Vision come surround the ring. But Jey Uso's there to back up his friend. And then Cody's music hits.
Yeah!
Why, though?
Everything's a tribute to when it was a little bit better, which was in 2023, when it was all the goodies and the Judgment Day Bloodline.
Oh, yeah.
United. This was like a night. It's like the Attitude Era when it's like, do that again? We haven't, like, I don't know, we haven't Chuck the Undertaker. We haven't chucked a belt off a bridge for a while. Should we chuck the Rock off or something like that? Yeah, it's just a bit like that, you know.
Big brawl kicks off. Punk grabs Heyman, but Logan saves Paul Heyman, but then Punk chucks him into the barricade. Bronson Reed ends up getting isolated, and they all take shots at him, chuck him out the ring, and the babyfaces stand tall.
I mean, it was rubbish, but it was electrifying for me. Like, they were building a match that I'm going to watch. I always feel like I have to mention that because it's remarkable. It's kind of the magic of the work.
Yeah.
Where is the button that turns it back on?
Give me the on button for the button. That belt has, the Seth belt.
Oh, yeah.
has never meant less. And I love CM Punk because, yet again, a bit like when they joined forces in Chicago before Punk got decked by Drew, a bit like every time they face off against one another in a promo battle, a bit like that little moment on SmackDown about a month and a half ago when Punk turned up for the AJ Lee night, where like Cody said it, like, we've got to stop meeting like this. The two of them are on screen together, and there is your WrestleMania main event. Can
CM Punk become world champion? He already is. No.
Not the Seth one, the real one.
Yeah,
the proper world title.
It's that. But WWE have a way with this where they kind of every now and then find ways to make that world title feel like a world title, or at least a belt that can carry a main event once in a while. They've got B shows and stuff. As soon as the two of them are in there, one's the champion and one's not. We need a match to decide it. And they both got belts. Like that, like it is the two of them in there, that's the real stuff. And WWE have still got it. Get that belt on a Braun Breaker or whatever. Or whatever. Because that's like, give me a War Games tease between two of them. Let's have a look at them in the cage. They're mates. Everything's fine. Because that's a match, isn't it? They're on screen together. That's a match.
Indeed. Yeah. This was...
Sorry. And I said it last week when I'm like, it's Punk versus Division again. There's not even a personal issue, technically. But that singular personal issue that might exist between Cody and Punk is drawing more money in my mind than all of this. That's the difference. That is the real difference. Something that matters versus the stuff you've just got to do.
Yeah, this doesn't matter. Very, like, we'll just do these wrestlers in this match, whatever. It doesn't have to make too much sense. Feels like an obstacle, War Games, and they've almost, like, just transparently went, yeah, we don't have any really good stories, and the Seth thing's kind of screwed us, so let's just have the stars. It's like the old sort of, well, it doesn't make much sense, but if you're going to do a replacement in the booking, make the replacement, the substitute good, or make the fans happy. Almost unacceptable, considering that they've actually had a decent amount of time now. The Seth thing was quite a few weeks ago. To build something that's more cohesive than this, if you like. They haven't done it, but Paul Levesque is a bum, so I didn't expect any better. I continue to not believe a word that CM Punk says. This mellowed out, good boy CM Punk, deluding himself into thinking he's doing career best work. You don't fool me.
It's funny you mentioned, have we got the backstage segment next?
No, but you want to skip
Could
there?
we jump to that, yeah.
Yeah, so they're backstage. Punk's thanking Cody and Jay for having his back out there. Postman Pierce comes in, says, everyone good? Punk says, no. Physically we're fine, but we're pissed off. Look, he says, go and find Paul Heyman. I've got a team. Tell Heyman to get a team. I'm done with the games. And I was like, oh my God, that's like half of the name of the thing. And Pierce says, are you saying what I think you're saying? And then Sidge, I know absolutely I loved this part because Punk says, Regal walks in, War Games!
Yeah! You know, I'd like to revise my all too cynical opinion that I just expressed moments ago, people. I apologize for that. I shouldn't have said it because it was clearly untrue. CM Punk is obviously having the time of his life, doing the best work of his career, because he's now just asked his old pal, William Regal, to announce the match that he's in for some reason.
Like I said when he first signed, what we were going to have was 5 happy years, followed by whatever the next contract that gets drawn up. You find you just got to bury the hatchet with these enemies. You know, you find a professional workspace. Like, you're not getting along. Now we've got like a lot of historic beef, actually. God, let's just get in a room. Let's talk it through like professionals, and we can all do business together the way it should be done. And I just thought this was a lovely I can't carry this on. It's funny to watch though, isn't
Funny
it?
to watch
Funny
this.
to watch because he's like, I fucking hate you. Regal! Like there, he's got the Triple H, has got the woody string coming out of his back.
Yeah. He owns him. He owns him.
Yeah,
CM Punk is Triple H's bitch.
There's the camera shot.
He is.
Was the camera shot where
He
Regal,
is, and it's genuinely pathetic.
Regal's like slid back off shot. And like he slithered away.
like the snake that he is.
Slithers off screen. And then Punk.
Bobby Belly.
He's a Bobby Belly. You got Cody.
Lord Stephen Regal over here.
He's got Cody and Jey Uso. It's like, there's your team, Punk. Are you going to look at him? No. He's looking directly past. He's like, is he gone yet?
Snake old man. Well, I'm an old man snake, so 1-0, sir.
Come around my house. You'll see what I do with lizards, pal.
I'll keep you as my pet. And we'll have a nice bond over the years. We already got one now on the basis of that, so apparently.
Yeah, you gotta laugh. Right, it's just like at least it was like, yeah, right, I'll just gotta suck it up and do business, I suppose.
Go to sleep. What's that? My vaunted 30-minute New Japan main events that everyone pretended to watch.
Backstage promo with us, just in case you need these, mate. It's just like set of brass knuckles.
Hang on, Anaconda Vice. You've been through my drawers. Yeah! Hoorah!
Hoorah! Funny. That same man.
What have you seen? Just out of interest.
Anyway, amongst all this,
He could have like, he's on Raw. Like, Regal. Imagine
Rhea
us-
Ripley almost spoiled her return. Someone's doing epic bacon. I can smell it.
Imagine just asking him in like, you know what? Whoever's Triple H has said it. Obviously, you got to keep it. This is my boys thing. Give it Regal to the end of the season, Phil. Like, he's got to do it. Like, he's got to do it. Like, imagine like just things were different. Like, can you fix that with Hangman, Kenny in the books so we can have these class matches and draw a load of money, please? Like,
Yeah.
no fucking way. Out the door. Can you queue up William Regal for his big annual bit? Sure thing.
To be
all
fair,
I'm saying is I can get there.
to be fair to Punk, he was like, "Come on, let's make some money, guys." But he was like,
Is that 2023?
"Yeah,
Try and broker a
that's when
chat.
I think he was trying to get his people to talk to Young Bucks lawyers, and it's Punk. You never know if he's a unreliable narrator, one might say. But he reckoned in that Sports Illustrated piece ahead of the Collision debut that he wanted to just thrash this out, stop it haunting AEW, get people talking with probably the idea, let's face it, of doing business and working a program. Told by the Young Bucks lawyer, do not contact this person. And then maybe he thought, all right, okay, well, they're not, budging. What about if the old Hangman can do it? So that's when he was doing the whole, what was the phrase?
Oh, I know why he's called Hangman, because I was in the toy store and all of his figures were hanging off.
Yeah,
pegs or something.
You're a peg warmer.
Peg warmer.
You're a peg warmer.
Because Kenny was open, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like, fights happen all the time. Can we not just get over it?
Yeah.
And my read is Kenny might have decided, but like they're all for one and one for all, aren't they? The Elite, and all for working with each other all the time exclusively, to the detriment of their own careers and legacies.
That's how that phrase goes.
So they don't do a single thing. And look, it's their own
their
own little mini union. They do not get years from now.
Started AEW, that did.
Yeah, when AEW was, be remembered as this sort of like potential, we're good. Could have been more. Could have been so much more. The Kevin Keegan's entertainers of a professional wrestling program. Ultimately is what it is.
Yeah.
Years from now, I think I'll develop a respect of like, they are the only guys who's probably ever stepped foot in professional wrestling with actual principles of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Actual, honest to God principles. And that'll get tested in 5 years because it always does. But for now, they've decided to be the ones. Let's make some money from this. That's how wrestling goes. No, we're not doing that.
Isn't there One Bill Phil's pal David Zaslav sniffing around like a deal or something as well?
No, I don't know.
NBC and Max, is it? Like that would be like kind of an AOL Time Warner deal.
I don't know. I've not heard much about this. I'm too
AEW.
busy reading about Nixon Newell.
That would like bring AEW.
I'm Hulk Hogan, bitch.
That's what she did. That's what she did.
That's what we
That's in the-
established
in the voice
yesterday.
as well.
Yesterday.
That's,
In this Q&A, was it? When's that getting dropped?
it's out as an audio podcast.
Okay,
right now,
well,
video
if you want,
podcast coming.
if you want the inside scoop on Nixon Newell,
in her own words and voice.
yeah, apparently. Yeah, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. We all know this.
Satire. As it pertains to satire.
So, in amongst all this, we had a women's world title match. It was Stephanie Vacquet, flanked by her best friend in the whole world, Nikki Bella, and Raquel Rodriguez with her best friend, Roxanne Perez, of course. Early on, Vacquet tries for the devil's kiss, but Raquel powers out of it, hoists her up on her shoulders, electric chair, drops her face first on the turnbuckle to take us to a break. When we return, Vacquet makes a comeback, goes for the SVB, but just like last week, Raquel's too big. Vacquet wants a tornado DDT. Raquel blocks that too. Hits a vertical suplex and a big boot for 2. Raquel also blocked the Meteora and powerbombed Stephanie down for 2. Stephanie has to get a rope-assisted armbar in there. Roxanne gets involved, grabbing her ankles as she hits the ropes. And Nikki jumps Roxanne, sends her into the barricade. Raquel catches a crossbody from Vacquet, hits a fall-away slam. But Stephanie avoids the Vader Bomb elbow, hits the Devil's Kiss, and kicks Raquel down again. And hits the spiral tap for the 1-2-3 to retain the title.
All right. Bit dynamite-y, but I like Stephanie Vacquet. That's
Dynamite, the matches are well worked.
usually the rule with the dynamite ones. If I care about the performers, and I did about one of them. Like, work was fine.
Yeah,
Crowd were into it.
wasn't that good.
Enough.
You know, it wasn't that good.
It was fine, though. You know what I mean? Like, I was into watching Stephanie Vacquet winning.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought Raquel had a
obvious winner, obvious loser.
Yeah, bad news, good news scenario here. The bad news is that it ranged from very wonky to mediocre. The good news is that it was short enough.
Yeah.
It's all about the post-match, though. What was that?
That's then, now, forever, together, gone, bye-bye. WWE, it's all about the post-match.
And it was here because Roxanne Perez immediately jumped Stephanie Vacquet, but there's Vacquet's best friend, Nikki Bella, to send her out the ring. And they hug, and you see, bloody hell. Raquel and Roxanne selling as they walk up the ramp. And then suddenly, Stephanie's there, like, you bloody two, eh? Turns around, wham! Belt shot from Nikki Bella to the face. She turns heel, she betrays her best friend. And not only that, she rips off her top to reveal an evil black version of the Fearless top.
I pressed the wrong button. Does it make noises yet?
Hang on.
That's great, this embodied that.
Oh my god.
Oh, Wilbourn, what are you pressing that button for? That was going to be the joke.
I didn't like that one. We'll do it again.
Right, this is a business. They kind of set this one up over the last few weeks.
Who could have called this?
Yep, all of us. It's a star.
Literally everyone watching this children's television program.
Star for it a beat.
OTJ strikes again.
No.
No, can't have that one, I'm afraid.
Okay. I'll just go with Lash Legend appearing on the main roster then.
Can't
instead.
have that one. You can't have that one. Star for a beat, innit? Star for Stephanie Vacquet a beat. That's what you do. Don't mind it. Can't show any more love than that, but can't criticise it either. It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I reckon the match will be good.
Yeah. I want to look at it. Might be
Stephanie will
rubbish,
probably-
but I want to look at it.
No, I reckon. This match was. I reckon Stephanie will say to Nikki Bella. She says, "Come on, I can take it."
And she turned around to me and she's like,
And
"Let's
she
have a
said-
good one."
You know, she says, "I reckon she'll turn around and say, like, you got a reputation. Kick me." Hard in the face.
Well, before we go any further, it's time for the
SV Brie.
brilliant.
What's that got to do with anything?
Stephanie Vacquet. And that's how Brie Bella returns to help Nikki somewhere down the line, aren't they? Royal Rumble.
Or cheese.
What's that wordplay on?
SVB.
CB.
What's that? The
Stephanie Vicker. The move.
oh. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, before we get any further, it's time for the newest feature. That is, of course, Gooner Comment of the Week.
Gotta start harmonising it.
Thank you.
I like how that's why you need to bring the buttons back.
Spoiler alert, Rhea Ripley's going to return later, and she forms the basis of some of the Gooner comments that I've picked out.
Well, because we have established that we must determine. So he's not the king. We have to determine what the best or the gooniest comment is. Therefore, we need a selection.
Yeah.
So obviously lots of photos doing the rounds of Rhea Ripley making her return in the main event that we'll get to. And Confession, with a bunch of numbers, just simply replies, "You can crush me." So that's an option, isn't it?
Death by Snoo Snoo, was that in
Yeah,
Futurama? Yeah.
Andrade, not that
I love
one.
that way, just like, well, would you take it? Death for one chance with Rhea Ripley?
Absolutely.
No, it was a rhetorical
sorry.
question.
Well, Andrade's responded as well. Not that one.
You never know.
What beautiful legs. That's nice, isn't it?
That's nice, yeah. That's quite tame, actually.
What time she open it?
Route 1? I'm sure my dad told us that one when I was like 13, 14,
The final comment actually isn't related to Rhea Ripley. It was, I saw this and I was like, you probably heard me doing the prep hard yards for this, giggling away at my desk earlier when I read this one because it was Payne Bloody Royce's birthday yesterday. Happy belated birthday from all of us here at WhatCulture, Cassie Lee. Can't do that.
Say what culture in Australian right now?
Payne Bloody Royce, what I can't do it. What culture?
What culture?
What culture?
What culture?
Yeah. Anyway,
Easy.
it was Payne's birthday yesterday, and
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
well, we forgot, but Dan didn't. Thankfully, Dan wrote, "It's lovely. This happy birthday, beautiful.
Oh.
Nice nipples, by the way."
By the way,
BT dub.
just before I go.
What you picking for Gooner comment of the week? You can crush me. What beautiful legs. What time she open it? Oh, happy birthday, beautiful. Nice nipples, by the way.
Yeah, we've democratized this whole deal. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I think B for me.
It's probably C. It's often C, I think.
I think it's B personally. Nipples has like a softcore vibe around nipples and stuff like that. Full on legs spreading, bad dude. That's hardcore.
Good point.
pornography.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us on our new weekly feature.
Speaking of hardcore, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus in the Time Is Now tournament next. They hit each other really hard in this one. Sheamus body slammed Shinsuke early on and fish hooked him. But Shinsuke fought back. Hit a knee drop to the back of Sheamus's head. Sheamus caught Shinsuke on a dive and dropped him on the apron to take us to a break. When we come back, Nakamura hits a superplex for 2. Sheamus comes back, though, and hits the 10 beats the Bodhrán. Wants a brogue kick, but Nakamura hits a sling blade. As Nakamura comes off the top, Sheamus hits a lifting knee strike for 2 because Nakamura just grabs the bottom rope that's next to him. Sheamus wants an avalanche white noise, but Nakamura blocks that and hits a powerbomb for 2. But just after Nakamura hitting Enziguri, Sheamus comes right back with a brogue kick out of nowhere for the 1-2-3. Nice moment between the two of them post-match as well.
Yeah.
You couldn't give a damn.
No, sorry. Just moves happening in front of me, really. Like, I wanted Sheamus to win, so I suppose I was sort of pleased when he did. But,
I, in contrast, felt absolutely nothing. And the only thing I could think of when watching this match, which as Hamflett points out was a moves happening in front of me special, was, my God, they gave this dude who was wrestled in such this pretty bleak, very laboured way. Like, Shinsuke Nakamura wrestles as if he's underwater, and he has done since 2017. And it's been 8 years of just wrestling as if you're submerged in like these really dull matches where it doesn't even look like it hurts him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that Jeff Hardy, Terry Funk thing where you half think, oh, come on. I know you're really like getting on a bit in those years of damage have caught up with you, but come on, get through it. He just wrestles as if he's underwater. He sucks. He really does suck, bro.
There was whispers like there was going to be like WWE wanted him. Well,
He was the United States champion, this dude.
New Japan.
That was the weirdest era of Triple H's.
New Japan were
reign.
considering him for the Tanahashi one, but obviously I'm assuming conversation never happened, let alone broke down. And it would have,
Yeah, I've read
would have
this.
been
That
great.
Nakamura himself would have been happy to do it. I mean, what a complete no chance in hell would this ever have happened.
Is it Okada?
It's Okada, yeah. I'll cry. But what's funny about it is Okada's come out and went, yeah, you're getting the AEW Okada. And I did the Rainmaker theme, but I just wanted to pop. You're going to get the AEW Okada. So it's going to be Okada flipping them off, rolling them up, cheating with that face. Everyone obviously wants Tanahashi to win.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got the history and it's now got the perfect, like, house show, if you like, easy business dynamic. Like, it's going to be spectacular. Then Okada might start taking it seriously towards the end, so there's scope for it to progress. Truly, it is the one thing in pro wrestling, barring the returns of certain wrestlers, that I'm truly looking forward to is this Okada-Tanahashi match.
Takeshi will be defending the title underneath it as well, isn't he?
Yes, it's Suji, isn't it?
Not worked out too bad for AEW, that has it, in terms of servicing that program.
Yeah.
Before the main event, we get an announcement from Adam Pearce regarding this Last Time Is Now tournament. More men drawn to have the opportunity of a lifetime. And then he announces in the first matchup, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
The young OG, Javon Evans from NXT, will be taking on the returning Gunther.
Oh my God.
Good booking.
Good booking, well worth the button press. Books itself. The best one guy goes over, the other guy gets over match WWE has. This is the exact kind of spark and inspiration and slightly outside of the box thinking I was expecting when such a tournament was announced. I was not daydreaming of Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura or Rusev versus Damian Priest. This, as they say, is more like it.
And in the other matchup, the leader of the MFT, Solo Sikoa, against a mystery opponent next week.
So Cardona or Hendry for Sikoa, or Hendry or Cardona for LA Knight. Yeah,
It's Henry for LA, yeah, because SmackDown GM didn't want to say his name. It's Cardona for Solo because he's going to squash him in the garden.
yeah, good
Nice
stuff.
little callback to, like, that was his first night, wasn't it? He got squashed by Matt Morgan in Madison Square Garden. This whole deal, like, it's, gets to live the dream. A nice dream, asshole. How about if we crushed it again?
Yeah.
And I me back?
And also next week, it's John Cena's obviously back on Raw. And women's IC title, Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree as well.
That could be spectacular, but we don't want to step on the dick of our own dick.
Nope. We all said that.
Everyone says that.
Main
event time?
Yep, women's tag team championships on the line. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Sorry for my terrible mistake.
Funny on SmackDown, isn't it?
Was.
Alexa early on tries a baseball slide to the outside. I love Asuka. So she misses that, and Asuka's like, what you gonna do? Ducks her forearm from Alexa, and Kairi Sane hits a flying forearm off the apron. And then Kabuki Warriors have a dance to take us to a break. Great. Anyway, Bliss hits both of them with a double DDT when we come back from the break. Charlotte Flair gets the hot tag, double flying crossbody, double fall-away slam, and a moonsault to both of them, and a pinfall attempt on Asuka that gets 2. There's a little moment between Flair and Alexa. They have that nod. They go for a double natural selection. Bliss hits Kairi Sane, but Asuka blocks and gets Charlotte in an Asuka lock. Charlotte gets out of it, though, goes for a tag. Shot really nicely, actually, for a split second, because I thought Bliss just jumped off the apron, because Kairi Sane pulls her off right at the last second. Asuka hits Charlotte with a knee strike, goes for an armbar. Charlotte counters out of that into a Walls of Jericho, basically. Asuka counters that into a cradle. That gets 2, kick to the head. Charlotte hits a big boot and gets the figure 4. She's trying to transition, obviously. Kairi Sane, you can see her setting up to break it up with an insane elbow. She comes flying off the top, straight into her sister Abigail. That was a nice spot. And Charlotte gets the figure 8 on Asuka, but referee's distracted with getting Alexa and Kairi out of there. And as she does that, here come the megastars. Nia Jax and Lash Legend get involved. Yeah! Bliss confronts Nia Jax and Lash Legend. So Kairi Sane sends her into the announce desk. Asuka jumps Charlotte from behind because she's been distracted by all this. Holds her in position. Insane elbow from Kairi Sane. 1, 2, 3. New champs!
I never say this about wrestling matches. I wanted more. This whole thing felt like it was being agented by Abyss in that episode of Unreal where he's scared about getting in trouble. Oh my God, we're running out of time. I don't want to upset Bruce.
Like that Abyss one.
We're running out of time and I don't want to upset Bruce. Like it was funny fake. Like, it was on Netflix. It was just, they needed to, like, orchestrate a bit of drama. We're going to have to cut the anaconda virus. Like, it was, this was that. It was like they were racing. They were racing through stuff. I was like, I like Alexa and Charlotte. I've really invested.
Yeah.
Love that Bayley and Lyra match the other week. So I had no reason to think the Kabuki Warriors wouldn't be, like, even better, to be honest. Heel, babyface dynamic, all that. And it wasn't. I thought, like, it was as if they cut out a chapter I really wanted. I was into it by the finish, same as you. Like, again, it's this War Games cheat code. Goodies, baddies, see you there. Like, and it's like, yep, okay, I'm there. What are you doing when we get there? War Games! Oh, I'll get me cut.
Yeah.
Like, so I was into that and kind of knew where it was all going. I was excited for that. And I guess the title change is exciting. I was sad that the faces lost. I've enjoyed this title reign a great deal. Match didn't click for me in the way that I thought it would. Maybe there was a point that Sidge made earlier on that did permeate through the show where it's like, you have seen how much this can peak in the Cena Dom thing. And the job of this as the main event was to get back there. And it didn't really. The closest you got was when Cody came out and everybody was singing his theme to get the vision. It didn't quite manage that here until the run-ins, the babyface run-ins.
I mean, it was just a truncated match.
Oh, was that the end of the sentence?
I didn't really think much of it at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's like, there's Lash Legend.
Yeah.
Lash Legend's here. Yeah.
Lash Legend and Nia Jax immediately.
I like the spot into the Sister Abigail.
Yeah, it
like
was,
catch.
yeah.
Good spot.
I like the idea of Nash. Nash? Like, that's going to be their team name.
That should be the team name.
Yeah, Nash
You
Legend.
love them all.
Nash Legends. Love it.
Yeah. Because surely the idea would be that match on NXT was so awesome. Get them together, and then they can break up and have another match. Because it was just what a bit of business.
Nia said that match is on SmackDown. That's the reason why I've teamed up with her. She's class.
Yeah.
When Jakara Jackson left, it was weird in NXT because they never formally turned Lash Legend heel, but they just made her a total bastard backstage.
Yeah.
Come up to people and go, out of the way, you f***ing losers. And it was like, are you a goodie?
Yeah.
Like, so she just, it feels like
She's following the footsteps of Brick Williams, wasn't she?
yeah, like she sort of fits right now.
Yeah.
Like with Nia Jax, like this universally despised figure in Nia Jax. It was like, I want to be your friend.
She certainly made me immediately abandon all stock I have in Io Sky later.
Yeah.
Don't like you anymore.
Until she brings the bin.
Well, yeah, when she brings the bin, that was different. That's
Different story, different gravy.
Different bins.
Different bins, different needs.
Different gravy.
Alexa chases the new champs out of the ring, stands up to Nia Jax and Lash Legend. They take her out, obviously. Asuka and Kairi get in there, and there's a little moment. You think, oh my God, are these two teams going to fight each other? And they kick the crap out of these two guys. Brilliant. Io Sky runs out to make the save. She drops the rope on Legend. She spills out the ring. Hits a double springboard drop kick on the new champs. Goes after Nia Jax, and then don't care about you. I don't, the Woody bit from Toy Story. I don't like you anymore. That was me on Io Sky when Lash Legend just went wham with a forearm. Yeah. And then the beatdown's happening. And I'm like, wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 baddies in the ring. 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 goodies in.
So how it happened.
Here comes Rhea Ripley with her traditional War Games face mask, of course.
Yeah.
Because she had broken her nose.
It's this, but in a mask.
You can't see it. Imagine if it was coloured to look like bacon. Anyway, they get rid of...
Just like look like Ric Flair.
Nia Jax. Charlotte kicks her in the face. Kari's the last one left.
How's the bacon, did you say? Woo!
The bacon. The bacon.
Ripley.
It's real! Anyway, no, no. Steve Bruce.
How's the bacon? Did you say?
Ripley gave Kairi Sane a razor's edge over the top rope, nearly killed her onto the other heels.
Good spot, that.
And yells War Games to close out this show.
I still don't think you necessarily need the title changes because, like, Charlotte and Alexa were remarkably fine with the terrible thing that had happened. Yes, it's a 4-on-4 cage match. She lost the belts. Don't care. Friends.
We'll get back to that.
Friends in a violent match.
We'll get back to it. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Hot stuff.
Yeah. People are marks, though, aren't they?
Anyway, I can't go with the Ric Flair thing now. Let us know your thoughts on this show, on War Games, on everything in the comment section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE, where you can sort of follow all three of us. You can follow, well, you can't follow Michael Hamflett on X, but you can follow him where?
On Cameo at Michael Hamflett.
You can follow us on X, obviously, legends. You can follow Michael Sidgwick.
I don't really tweet anymore. M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow
He
us
never
all.
tweets.
No, I can't be bothered. I'm just looking. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE.
Hey, if you want to get involved in the Q&As, you got to do it.
Yeah.
So...
And if you want to send us, Gooner comments, that helps too. Or vote on it, of course. Anyway.
Vote on it. Don't engage with it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's your life. Do what you want with it. Subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast.
One life. Goon with it.
Just goon it. Night tick. Check. Subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from. We'll be back later on to preview NXT with, for now, this has been the Raw review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us. And we...
Carpe diem.
See you soon.